All right, everybody. At Results Only, we try and add in boxing. A lot of people don't like boxing as a full 60-minute class. It can be hard on your hands. It can be a little bit challenging for your shoulders and neck. So we try and utilize it as a circuit. And one of the things that we do is we'll teach some of the basic moves, and in that time, we'll do 30-second intervals of some of those movement patterns. In years past, I taught a lot of boxing. It's how I started my career. So I'm a little bit of a stickler when it comes to the finer points of doing things correctly. So I want to take a second to take you through some of the movements. So the first thing we have to pay attention to is a boxer is never really up in their necks. Okay, they're going to be very relaxed, and everything in their hands, they're not going to clench like they're trying to grip something and break an egg in their hands. They're going to be very loose. When they make contact with the bag, there's going to be some extension, but you don't want to lock out your elbow because then you risk having some hyperextension and risk injury. So when we make contact with the bag, we can do it one of two ways. We can rotate our hand, or we can hit it sideways, as long as we're getting 90% extension from the shoulder. If you notice, my movement is coming from my hips and my legs. It's not just throwing the arm. That in and of itself looks ridiculous. I say this all the time at the gym. If you don't look like you're boxing, you're probably not boxing. Now, the front punch is called a jab. The rear punch is called a cross. When we do that, we will do a lot more jabs because it's what's called a sight punch. You're looking for your target. Am I going to hit the person in the head? Am I going to hit the person in the jaw? Am I going to hit the person in the rib cage? So you're sighting, and then once you find the spot you want, you cross. Now, another mistake that people tend to do when they're boxing, along with not keeping their distance from the bag, is that they tend to hit the bag with 140% of force. They're just coming in, and then your form goes haywire. You want to hit the bag with some consistency and some control. As you do that, you'll notice that you're working on speed and you're working on the smaller, finer points of hitting the bag. The bag shouldn't be swinging to and fro. You should be moving around the bag and keeping your feet going. And you should be able to do this on both sides of the body. When I'm facing this way, I've got one foot forward. When I'm facing this way, I have another foot forward. Also notice that when I box, I'm not on the bag. This is not the way anybody boxes. You step into the bag and you come out. When you're boxing, you step in, you hit your opponent, and then you retreat and regain your control. So we already went over that this is a jab and this is a cross. There is one more punch, and that's a hook. But a hook is going to come close. Let me explain. You hit the jab, you hit the cross. You're now moving in, and that hook, you're going to be very close to your opponent. If their head is right here or their rib cage is right here, they're up on the bag. Oftentimes when people poorly box, they go like this, and that just looks terrible. You want to boom, boom, boom. It's a 1-2-3 combination. Now, boxing in and of itself is an amazingly aerobic activity, and you can get a great workout from it. But what you need to do is you need to do it in small bursts. So 30 seconds of jabs, 30 seconds of crosses, 30 seconds of jab cross, then switch sides, jabs, crosses, combinations. Once you feel like you're doing that well, ask a trainer. Say, do I look like I'm doing pretty good? Am I staying out of my neck? Am I really feeling my core getting me into the bag and my feet doing most of the work? Or am I just in here looking ridiculous? If you feel like you're looking ridiculous, you probably are, and ask for a little help at that point. The whole idea of this video was to give you the basics, to be able to do 6 to 8 minutes on the bag, maybe throw in some jump rope, ask a trainer for a couple more ideas, and in a future video, we'll go over some kicks.